All right, and as usual, I always appreciate when people tune in to watch my slant on certain extreme books and films. I'm sure my list would be different than yours. I've got 7 books to cover and 3 films, so I'll get right to it, okay?
I hope you have some really cool zombie books to talk to me about today. Yeah.
The first one is the second book in the Dying to Live series by Ken Paffenroth, Life Sentence.
Okay, what's your first zombie book, okay? Dying to Live. That sounds really cool. The second book? Is it like totally cool?
For some reason, the second book in the series is $4.99 rather than $9.99 like the first and third one are. Don't ask me why. It's a full-length novel. I really enjoyed it. This one is even different than the first book in that he picks up this real interesting storyline. I don't want to tell you a whole lot about it because I don't like ruining things, but it's a little bit past the first book in the future. And he follows 2 threads. Each chapter alternates back and forth between, and I've seen this in David Wellington's Monster trilogy too, but this is different. I'm not saying he ripped them off. But it follows a young woman's story and then the story of a zombie. Yeah. Really interesting. I like him a lot. The second one is by Jesse Petersen. It's a collection of short stories involving zombies called In the Dead.
Is she the woman, the lady, whatever, who did that stuff about married with zombies and stuff in the dead? Some short stories. That's totally cool. Yeah, I like that.
She's actually working on another set of these right now. She's selling them herself, which is really good. I don't remember if there's 7, 8, or 9 of these short stories in here. My favorite one takes place in the zoo. I really like her. It surrounds, kind of happens at the same time in the same universe as her Married to Zombies, Flip This Zombie, Eat, Pray, Love. Really good. I highly recommend it. I think it's 99 cents maybe. The third one is by Mira Grant called Countdown, a newsflash novella.
Another zombie book? Countdown, a newsflash novella. And that was like a story of how it all started. It's totally cool, but I'm not gonna read it. You just have to tell me all about it, okay? Okay.
This is a prelude to her amazing trilogy. She might be actually producing my favorite zombie trilogy. I love this. This is the prelude. This tells you what happens on everything in the other 3 books. The trilogy take place much after. This actually is a novella, about 91 pages, about how the whole thing started. And really, really good. I like her so much. If you ever wondered what a novella by Edward Lee and Rath James White would be like, pick up The Teratologist, which is, I think, $4.99. Well worth it. Absolutely well worth it.
This is that guy that you like, Rath James White, and Edward Lee, never mind, I can't say it. I'm sick of it. All these weird names for books. What can't they just call it death or killer or zombie or something? Anyway.
Of course, the gore in this is, you know, because it's Edward Lee and Rat James White, of course it's through the ceiling, and it's sexually graphic. Be careful when you pick this up, because you're going to get it, is basically it. Really cruel, hideous story, which means I loved it. Another Rat James White book, this is written totally by him. This is a full-length novel called Succulent Prey.
Oh, Succulent Prey. Oh, is that like some cannibal that looks like Superman goes around and killing people and eating them, and it is what that is like? Oh, you mean the Superman that's in the movies? No, the Superman that's in the comics? Oh, that's just plain weird. Totally weird, yeah.
I also downloaded that on my Nook reader, and I was like $5.87 or something, really cheap. This is Rat James White at his serial killer best. And again, you know, it's very, well, this guy, this serial killer, is also a cannibal, as some serial killers are. I don't want to tell you much about it, because I think you should, you know, the story should hit you the way it did me. I didn't really know much about it. I just knew it was by him, which meant it was probably going to be graphic. And it is. Next one is called, it's put out by Prelude Press. It's called The Undead, a zombie anthology, edited by D.L. Snell.
Oh, The Undead Zombie Anthology. Oh, totally cool. But, oh, Prelude Press, they put out lots and lots of zombie books and stuff, don't they? But there's no zombie babies.
There actually is a really interesting story in here called Hotline by Russell Calhoun. There are other good stories in here, but the reason I want to point this particular one out for, well, him, is because he likes stories with zombie babies, and it has a rather cruel scene with a zombie baby, by the way. Not for the weak of heart, a little disgusting.
What? There is? Oh, tell me. Oh, Hotline, that doesn't sound like a zombie story to me. Russell Calhoun, truly cool. I love zombie babies. That means he's not crap. Yeah. What else?
Now I want to talk about a book that's free. I've read a lot of them already. There are a lot of good books out there that unfortunately, these authors have decided to put out there for free. It's a novella, and it's really, really different. It's not the run-of-the-mill zombie novella, and it's not the run-of-the-mill zombie, as you'll see as the book progresses. It's not so much like a George Romero zombie, but you'll know why. He doesn't cheat you. It's by Tom Lichtenberg.
Oh, a freebie? A free book? Oh, Zombie Nights. Yeah, I like to come out at night too, because then the sun doesn't burn my delicate skin and my one eye. It's totally cool, huh?
I downloaded it for free off of Barnes & Noble. And I still remember the book. That's the interesting thing. When a book like that, such a strange book, really stays with me, it means something. And I like the way it was written. It's not too long. Really, really worth, of course, worth more than free. But, you know, now I'm going to go into the films that I've recently seen that I can recommend, at least as far as I'm concerned, honestly.
Okay, do you have some cool movies for me to think about? maybe? No zombie movies. That's pretty sad. Okay.
The Woman, which is directed by Lucky McKee.
The Woman, no, that was a book by Jack Ketchum and Lucky McKee. It was a movie too. Was it scary? I bet it wouldn't make me too scared, would it? Because nothing scares me except sparkly vampires. They scare me.
And it was based on the novel by Lucky McKee and Jack Ketchum. The person I was watching it with did not like it, and I'm not surprised because I read the book first. And basically what happens, it's the third part of Off-Season, Offspring, and then The Woman. So this cannibalistic woman has, gotten by herself, and this family, or this man, I suppose you'd call him, decides to take this woman into his family's care to civilize her. The problem is they're not very civilized, and I never realized how unsettling the book would be being made into a film, because in the theater of the mind, it's a very different experience to actually see this on the screen. This distasteful, heinous family, hideous, horrible, horrible family, and definitely worth watching. We got the Blu-ray from Netflix, and the next one is a science fiction film.
Oh, stupid. I don't like science fiction. Did you?
It's called Real Steel, based partly on a Richard Matheson story.
Real Steel. Some robots, rock'em sock'em robots movie. Oh, I hate that crap. Go on, talk about the next one.
It's a, you wouldn't think I would like this kind of a movie because it's a feel-good, Rocky type film, but I really did. Well-paced, directed by Sean Levy, 2 hours and 7 minutes maybe. I liked it a lot. Again, it's a feel-good movie, but it was done well. At least I thought it was. I can recommend this movie. The last one, the last one is called, it's one word, Yellowbrickroad.
It's called Goodbye Yellowbrickroad. No, Yellowbrickroad.
And as you can see from this photo there, you can rent it or just play it on Netflix streaming. I watched this thing last night. This movie gets my vote for the eeriest film of the year. It doesn't have a lot of special effects. It has some. It's very effective.
Oh, is it scary? Is it scary? Oh, totally cool. I want to see that one. Wow. Well, that sounds pretty good this week.
But it's a cross between Lost, In the Mouth of Madness, and what else would I... Oh, The Blair Witch Project. Imagine The Blair Witch Project, Lost, and In the Mouth of Madness. Put those three together, and this movie had me on the edge of my seat. It is so frickin' disturbing. It's not heinously graphic. Like I said, there aren't a lot of special effects. There are some. There's one use of a special effect that I don't think I'll ever forget. But and Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. Put all those four together. Really, really clever. It goes to show what you can do with good writing, good acting, good directing, and just a solid film that is so creepy. And like I said, so far this year, maybe even last year, it's the eeriest film I've seen in a long time. But I really appreciate you tuning in as usual. join me again some other day for some weirdo crap that I like or recommend. And thanks a lot for joining me.